All right, welcome. I'm Bond, and
UT, welcome to the life and times
yes,
of a struggling Lagos big boy.
struggling Lagos big boy. It's you know.
So, yeah,
So we're back.
happy Valentines.
Happy Valentines. Valentine we just crossed over. I'm sure when you're listening to this, probably about another 24 hours after Valentine's.
And still, I'm sure you're still happy with your gift. Still all giddy.
There's still a lot of hangover from Valentine. But let's even start with Valentine. We want to hear from people. We're not talking in isolation. The gap between man and woman.
Even though they say we should isolate, but
Don't.
sorry.
The gap between men and women when it comes to Valentine is it closing. We know for a very long time saying a man ain't the vow.
Who they vow who? Who vows who?
A man ain't the vow. You always hear about some girl that's done something, but usually, the big things are done by, men. Is that gap closing? I saw a lot of social media posts yesterday, and women were. I saw one girl like this or more. She went all out to. I was impressed.
What did she do?
As in, she got him. No, she got him also like presents. She had like pictures. She had this box with pictures of where they have been with nice, lovely. It was really nice in different boxes and and it was quite. And I was impressed. It was good to see females gifting well for Valentine's. So. Yeah, is that gap in closing? What do you think?
I don't think so. I think there was this girl yesterday. But anyway, this is for a completely different reason. I'm saying this. Maybe not hate or anything, but this babe, she's apparently, I don't even remember her name, but she's an actress or something. She got like millions of naira in cases and jewelry.
Oh, I saw that.
And she's the one. I think she was the babe that Davido went for her birthday. I think it's that same babe. I'm not even 100%.
No,
sure.
That's Papaya X. That'd be something that went to.
Oh, so is it different?
I don't know. See, I'm not the guy to be asking these questions.
I don't know. But I'm like, But in my head, it's like, man, now optics now, because really, why are you giving me 30 million naira in cash? Am I supposed to keep it in my house? Let's just now imagine that people know where I live.
There's not even knows that. I mean, we can be going from there to the bank. But my point is, like, it's for the gram because it's easier for me to transfer that money to you. So it's for the gram. So the thing about it, I agree with you, the gap isn't closing because guys are moving this bow.
Like,
the CEO of Patricia got his babe pink Lamborghini. No, sorry, a pink Range Rover, for Valentine's. So that gap, that line
it's still.
So it's like as I've gone from boxers and I've upgraded from boxers to other things.
Yeah.
Guys have gone to cars.
Yeah.
Soon it'll be private jets and shit.
Like, the bar keeps going up. So yeah, it's up to you, women. I believe in you. I believe that you can close this gap.
Can come, man. I want to be wooed.
Like I know you got it in you.
Personally though, my wife won this year. Like shit, she what? Like I had to say, man, I had to. I was like, because I didn't. Shout out to the missus. So yeah, she won this year because I think I'll have to let me be. She's gonna some of this thing like I'm giving her my trade secrets, but I didn't plan to do that much. I felt like I'd done a lot for Christmas, and I didn't, and our anniversary is coming soon, so I didn't plan to do that much for vows. I really wanted to do something a little more with my time, and so I got something, and oh my bruh. When God has saved me that she gave me like, so I could add to my gift to, because my gift would just have fallen flat on his face. Because wow, like, you know, she gave slippers, mules, you know, and cash, man. I got cash. I didn't get 30 million, so you don't need to rob me.
I'm just saying, like, all women, we all need to do better. 30 million is
there. So yeah, so, you know, shout out, you know, so women are, you know, trying to show that you know, they can do better. But I even think the whole thing about Valentines is that we're losing. I think the thing about it is we are losing the essence of Valentine. I remember when I was growing up, the first time I experienced Valentine, I went to Corona, and Corona was a thing. It was not even about man or woman, or, you know, it was about your best friends. You make a card, and in that you showed how much you know, the amount of time, the amount of effort, the amount of that, you know, it showed how much that person meant to you. You know, so you could give your teacher. It was a thing that we made around Valentine at the time, but it was never a gift. It was never. So I never saw Valentine when I was growing up in primary and secondary school. Really, as it was by the time I got to secondary school, when you start hearing stories of what some Casey guy did to some QC girl, that it starts getting to another level. But before then, I always saw it was quite an innocent thing. So, but what's happening now is that people are losing that thing. So I need to get something for Valentine. It's money. You know, so I just go and buy that thing. But there's no thought into it. Okay, some people do thoughts, you know, some, you know, thought in presents. But a lot of like that girl that I said that, you know, did all this, you know, thoughtful things, her boyfriend and everything. What did she get? She got an iPhone 13. Now, she'll be happy about an iPhone 13. It's fucking, what, 700,000? How much is it now? But it's just money. Do I see it? You know, how much? It's money. If you can afford it.
Yeah, but what if it's something that she actually wants? Maybe she wanted a new phone. Maybe a phone.
No, I'm not disputing. I mean, they're not doing badly. So I'm sure she had probably the iPhone 12 or 11. You know, but what I'm trying to explain here is that it's just money. It's lack of thought. You know, there's, you know, perfume.
Jewelry.
You know, that's what I'm saying. That there's a lot of that in, you know, I'm not the best gift giver. But, you know, a lot of it is just cash. But anyway, happy Valentine's. I hope you guys had fun.
Abbah Kyari.
Okay. Let's get to that actually. Abbah Kyari. Now, Abbah Kyari has been in the news again. We know a bit of background to this. I don't need to bore you guys with the background of what's happening with him and Hush Puppy and the FBI and in indictment and in extradition, all that crap. Anyway, this weekend, NDLA dropped a bomb. They declared Abbah Kyari wanted and dropped a tape.
I still haven't seen this tape. I'm really interested in seeing this tape.
Shocking. I mean, part of it is, it's like you have somebody's filming from back of a car. You know, you can tell two people talking, so you can't really see them. It's back of a car, there's lights and all. So at the beginning part, you're not really sure who is it. But then it goes on to show the money, shows on show, like, and even if you just have that guy as a weakness, I'm sorry, like, yo. So anyway.
I didn't see, man, crazy shit.
As in,
so it's like full spy in the bushes.
Yeah, bro. And like, so that all that has happened, and the very next day or the day after, Abbah Kyari is arrested, and there's all sorts of conspiracy theory on the fact that this is a ploy to stop him being extradited, and all that, as you know, and people have no faith in Nigeria
whatsoever.
That the belief is that Abbah Kyari they're using this to, stop him from going to America. First of all, America just don't arrest people willy-nilly all around the world. It costs money to extradite someone. You have to have done something to America personally.
Yeah.
Now let's look at this Abbah Kyari's case. I'm no lawyer, and hopefully maybe we can bring a lawyer on to chop this thing properly. But from what I understood, from what the complaint, because I read that complaint cover to cover, and it was more of pointing a finger that cop is corrupt, as opposed to saying that cop broke a law based on American, laws. The person that FBI, was claiming Abbah Kyari kidnapped or help harass for hush puppy was not American. It wasn't done in American soil. The money that was paid to hush puppy wasn't Americans' money. So the truth about it is there's no jurisdiction for America to extradite this guy, from what I understand. That's just letting us know that you have a bad cop. And letting the whole world know. So in case you don't want to listen, Sha, we will let the world know that this cop is bad. So that's what I see America is doing in this case. There's really no evidence. And even if he was to go, I mean, Hush Papa himself would probably get 5 to 7 years. Max.
Why 5 to 7?
It's a financial crime. Financial crimes, except it really impacts someone to death or capital and blah, 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 usually don't carry a lot in American, it is usually not that much. So let's even just say, and he now pled guilty. So he'll have a plea bargain,
Yeah, true.
So I doubt it will be anything over 10 years. But drugs, on the other hand, is serious shit. Now this guy, and the way I see it, I think what just happened was
They set him up.
But they knew he was a dirty cop. FBI has now told us that, and Abbah Kyari, still feeling invincible, kept doing what he was doing. So the truth about it is, they just thought, okay, this guy, okay, and then they put a mole or something and set him up. They know that this guy, you can pay money and he'll help you do some things. So, okay, why don't we just send somebody and tell Abbah Kyari to help us do it? And I think that's what they did and caught him red-handed. And if you see the way everything came out, they did it for maximum publicity. I believe Abbah Kyari was already arrested before he was declared wanted. But it was also that everything was seem, this thing are declared wanted. We're looking for this guy. Oh, we've caught him. We're efficient. We're on this thing. Because the police are trying to show that they're trying to remove bad cops. So to me, it's more an NSA's agenda and the political agenda to make this guy a scapegoat for bad cops than stopping him from flying abroad. 25, I'm not sure exactly, but 25 kg of cocaine, it's a lot of cocaine. A lot.
But he's no Pablo though.
Shit, it's not Pablo. Pablo, manufactures it in his name. It's not Pablo, of course not, but it's a lot. And you don't know how many of that has gone through.
Fair.
So, if that's in one go, 25 kg.
No, but apparently the deal, I read the story. Apparently the deal was that the NDLEA had seized the coke and he went there to say, okay, give me 15 kg of that and report 10 kg in your story.
Oh, I didn't even know that. And then he'll pay them some money.
So that's when they nabbed him. So they set up a meet and apparently that's the video. I didn't even know there was a video of the meet.
Oh, so he heard about the cocaine.
They seized, yeah. So he...
And it could just be possible that those ones contact Abbah Kyari knowing that he's that kind of guy and say, please, can you help us get this thing? And I can get you this amount out of it, but you will pay. It's possible.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But see, it shows. You kind of see this and look at. And the thing is, anyway, my view on this is that, look, Nigerians, as much as Nigeria has failed us over the years, some things actually work. And in my view, that's one of them. A bad cop has been taken out of circulation. There are lots of bad cops, but it's one of many. And we need to start to set our examples and, get better standards, moral standards in our law enforcement.
Just law enforcement or round board?
Law enforcement, because we get better standard law enforcement, then it's easier to enforce the rest of us, to push us in shape. If you have a high standard in law enforcement, then they're harder to corrupt. Once they're harder to corrupt, then, it kind of moves everyone to a certain...
Fair.
It moves us to the next and final topic for today, which is basically Abbah. We had interesting conversations in the last couple of days on and on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, Olu for Bond, or Olu for 00, sorry. Yes, it was basically, first of all, what annoyed me on Twitter was someone put up Canada stealing the migration, Canada stealing Nigerians, that we're going to pay for it. And I thought stealing is a strong word. Migration happens. Migration happens all the time. And in some cases, migration is good for a situation. And actually, from my perspective, from my opinion, migration is good for Nigeria, especially for where we are now. And a lot of people say, the very best people are going, and I agree. But some of those very best people don't have the opportunity or don't have the resources to reach their full potentials here. Let me give you an example. Now, you have a scientist that has an incredible brain that can do some mad research, but they're here and might not have the opportunity to
do that
research here. So they go to Canada and and get that opportunity. And so that is the case. Now, unfortunately, some of those things are done on behalf of Canada and growth of other countries. So we lose social capital. Labor capital. It's understandable. But Nigeria we have as much as people don't believe it, we have a highly educated populace. If you calculate the percentage of people that have finished secondary school in Nigeria of a certain age, you'll be surprised how high that is. Talk less of adding universities, or one of the many universities that exist here. And a lot of those people finish without jobs. Part of it is just, if you think about it, if you think of how many graduates come out of Unilag every year, right? Strike or no strike. Asu or no asu. Amount of graduates that come out of Unilag every year. Now, if you calculate that almost every university, now we have private universities, we have all these kind of things, and you have these people coming out to the workforce every year. And we know that we're not creating the same amount of jobs every year. Jobs are being created every year, but the percentage is much lower. So what we have is that we have a deficit, and year on year that deficit increases. So we haven't filled the people from last year, new people have come this year, and there's lack and there's not a lot of jobs to handle these people. So the truth about it is economic migration works for Nigeria in some cases because we have to ease that tension. So what happens is that some of these people, the best and brightest, of course, unfortunately, would leave, but it allows for people behind them to get opportunities to move up. Now, someone say, oh, well, those ones too will leave. Yes, but the truth is it become a balance. After a while, you get to one guy that it doesn't pay him to leave. The opportunity here will be more for him than going. That balance would come. But at the moment, that balance isn't there. The truth about the matter, as much as we don't want to believe it, that's the truth of the reality that we are in, right? You're seeing graduates, doing, odd jobs, things that, just to make ends meet, and that's the reality. And then if people forget that there's something called repatriation, I keep wondering, but basically these people travel, and then they didn't leave. Plenty more. They didn't leave, they didn't live with their whole family and life and everything.
You can't even do that.
You can't. So chances are it's just going to be you and maybe your immediate family. So your father, your brother, your best friend, all these people you left them behind. So what will happen is after a while, you're gonna have to send money back. And all those things come in Forex. All those things help the economy, right? And those are things that that's the side of migration that a lot of people are not looking at. Yes, it's disheartening to see some of our brightest people go abroad. But let's not all just look at the loom and gloom of it. Let's also look at it that, there's opportunity for the people that remain and people that are leaving. And then there's also something that people don't understand that has always been there. I had a conversation with somebody. I was like, well, it's only the poor people are leaving. Some of the rich people are leaving. People with jobs of $1 million plus are leaving, And I'm trying to now let you know there's a difference between economic migration and lifestyle migration. lifestyle migration, rich people do it all the time. All the freaking time. You know, they get to a certain stage, they send their kids, buy a house abroad, you know, their kids are there most of the time, come to Nigeria for holiday, you know, and they're there.
There to December.
Exactly. And they chill. And the thing about it is lifestyle migration. You know, that person is sending his kid not because Nigeria doesn't have opportunities for him, not because, you know, he's not doing well in Nigeria, because he wants maybe something else or something better for his kids. Not because the school here can't give the kids the education in which he wants, but because he just wants something different. So he wants his kids to have some exposure. You know, not just Nigeria. Let's let you, you know, get some exposure in Paris, in a place like that. So, yeah, this lifestyle migration is something, and we have to understand that that's a thing, and people do it.
Yeah, but migration is, I don't know. Sometimes it just seems like it might be better for couples, like for people. I feel like migration, this type of migration they're talking about is always better for two people rather than one person.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like the migration is better for two people rather than one person.
Like, to
Jackpot. Like, I feel like it's hard. Like, if you're paying all those bills by yourself, you know, like, that's just my own thoughts. So I'm not. This is just
so what you're saying
personal.
is that to jackpot is easy
because now it's two people that are paying that one place. Because if you're by yourself, let's say you're living in somewhere like London now, yeah, you're probably paying a bill of 500, 600, 700 pounds for your small bungalow that you're just managing, going to work and coming back. But you'd have loved to get a 2-bedroom, you know, just a little bigger space. You know, it's not like you really have that much load anyway. But then if it's two people that are working towards stuff like that, it's easier. So now it's easier for two people to get a 2-bedroom. It makes sense.
But then I agree with you. But then it also comes, you know, sometimes it's only two people can work at the same time, you know, and then two people sometimes always come with kids. So it may be easier for one person than two people with kids.
And that's why I said, like, newlyweds now, not them, let me not say newlyweds, people who don't have too many dependents, at least. Maybe if it's one kid, okay. But like, I feel like it's easier for multiple people than one person.
I only just think the major reason why I think it's easier to jackpot with, or to me, it's easier to jackpot with family. And I put family, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's more about the emotional detachment, the loneliness, we all know that, not all, but people know that, you know, it can be quite lonely once you leave where you're comfortable with to move to a new environment and all that. It can be very, very, very lonely. So it's easier to deal with that when you have a wife, when you have kids, where you can, you know, you can have someone to
talk to
be with, you know, as opposed to just being alone and, you know, and catching up with what's happening in Nigeria.
Which they always seem to do, by the way. Everyone all of you that have jackpot, leave us alone.
The thing about it is that most people that jackpot, the enjoyment of life generally will be in Nigeria. So most people, if they have their way, will jackpot, leave all the Guinea, and then will come maybe 3 times a year and have a really blast of a time, and then maybe spend 10 days and then go back. Like, that would be most people's ideal, you know, back and forth.
I'm just saying, they always know the news. They know what's happening in real time. Did you hear they killed somebody on Lagos Ibadan Expressway? How did you know? How did you hear? It's all the way from there. You know, spreading fear in the minds of people that are here as well. It's like they make it quite uncomfortable sometimes.
No, I mean, and that one is understandable. I mean, everybody wants to. They want to protect, justify their position, their, you know, what it is they have done. So that's understandable. But anyway, whatever you choose, just realize that it's hard everywhere. It's hard here, it's hard there. It's so
it's challenging. Let's use challenging.
Yeah. So don't.
It's challenging.
How will I put it? Don't. The grass is always green on the other side. So, you know, look at what you're about to do, evaluate everything properly, and before you make the right choice or before you make your choice.
Any choice, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about boundaries. Workplace boundaries. Where does your employer's control of your life, where does it stop? Where should it stop? I've heard of places where they can't openly drink because their boss, doesn't drink. I mean, I'm not even talking about in the office, so because that's something I'm talking about. They can't even tell their boss that I drink at home. Guys that lie that they don't smoke, and then of course there's now testing, of marijuana and things like that in the office. My personal opinion is, look, it's anyone that's been on my shoots understands that I don't allow alcohol on shoots, especially when we're shooting. So it's just because I don't want anyone to be intoxicated. I don't care what you do. I say it's like, do whatever. I put it in the call sheet. Do whatever you have to do before and after the shoot. That's fine with me. But during the shoots, and it's a judgment-free zone. You can do whatever you want to. But during the shoot, please let's not, indulge. So that's for me. And I feel that's way because if I find that you are, intoxicated, if I find that you're intoxicated on my shoot or in anything I'm involved with, then it's a concern for me. I might send you off the production. So if I was to do a drug test for someone working for me, it would be because I feel that this person is acting in a certain way and I need to, prove that I'm going to sack them and that.
Yeah.
However, I'm finding that situations where offices are doing random drug tests with their staff to ascertain if they, do. We know that, it's a different case if it's a drug test to know if the staff is taking. So, for instance, now if you do the drug test that shows if the staff had taken any substance in the last 2 hours or 3 hours. So in that case now, that is showing that you are taking something at work. I am all for that, But if it's something that's going to detect an edible or a cheeky smoke that I had at the party last week, then I think that's too much, into people's
privacy.
Yes, I think that's too much into people's lives, because it's what I do. It's we all do weird things, and there are various and there are very very degrees of legality to a lot of things. So let's not even let it, I don't think it's work is an employer's place to make that decision. My job, my contract with you is to do my best while I'm working for you. Whatever I'm doing outside, right, it must not affect what I'm doing for you. So if I get arrested, for instance, for doing some shit and it's affecting what I do for you, yeah, by all means, yeah, let me go. But if you're now trying to figure out if I, had a binge Friday and got drunk on Friday and because of that...
Or had some of Abbah Kyari's old stash.
Hey. And, and you want to take me out. And I think that's a bit,
But it's like, but where do you think they draw the line? Like me now as an employer, I don't know if there's a test for like cocaine now, for example. If I find out that there's cocaine in your system, like, I'll be like, what's happening? Is this, number one, it's an illegal substance where we are, or everywhere in the world actually, right? It's not like marijuana that's, legal in some places and stuff. If I find out that you are, I'm more inclined to be like, yo, what's up? If you are underperforming as well.
I think that's the most important part. And that's the thing about it, because what would happen now? Let me flip the script. Your star employee, you have not had anyone this good.
Your Wolf of Wall Street, basically.
Like the baddest guy, right? And you go and find out he's a cokehead. Are you going to your contract with him is for him to, and he's fulfilling your contract with him. He's doing all the things that you want him to do, what you asked him to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now you're going to sack him because, he indulged in coke. Now, you don't even know if that coke is what is making him do so well, but that's not your business. That's not the conversation. You're sacking him now because he's doing an illegal substance. That's your justification.
Have a point there.
So that's all I just wonder is...
I guess it's easier to punish if you are underperforming.
So my point is, why even bring it up if someone's underperforming? The thing is, if someone is underperforming and you feel... Just fire them. And if someone is underperforming and you feel that there's a reason why this person is underperforming, right? Maybe he's doing certain things, or maybe he's obnoxious or being, a certain way. And you say, okay, you know what? I need evidence. Then maybe... you could go ahead that route. But for you to say, you know what? Because to me, I think what you're doing is a stereotype of who you think a ideal worker is. Oh, that person smokes. Oh, that person. And it's like, I know somebody, for instance, now, cigarette. His boss will be talking about, do you know that people spend 10,000 naira on alcohol? Now, this boss is the ED of a major bank in Nigeria. 10,000 naira. He will use it to wipe away his tears. Right? But he is talking about it like, how can anyone spend 10,000 naira on alcohol? So because of that, everyone that works under him swears to God that they don't drink. Drink, God forbid. Because their ED doesn't accept it. Sees it as a bad stereotype. The person that drinks is a certain way. And I think that's overstepping the boundary. I've seen people
but then if it's like a private company, like...
It's a private company I'm talking about. It's a private company. That's the thing about it. Have you not seen people that can't drink because their boss is in an event? Maybe because their boss doesn't drink. And now he's sitting down drinking his Fanta at an event. And you two are sitting down there drinking Fanta, waiting for the boss to leave. I'm sorry. We are both in a private event. We're not in the office. Except I'm embarrassing the office. If I'm doing something unbecoming of my position in the office, someone says, okay, that's Bond. He works in that person. Look at how he's doing. But if I'm just drinking alcohol, but then people have perceptions. So that boss that has that perception that, because, and and I find that to be a very Nigerian thing. Abroad, no one cares. Just come to work with office and do what you need to do. But I find it to be a very Nigerian thing where we want our staff to be like us. So if I don't drink alcohol, nobody should drink alcohol.
Because alcohol is bad.
So I think it's stupid. Anyway, let's not bore you with, our rants at the moment. This is the second episode of, Life and Times of Struggling Lagos Big Boy. We want to come to you.
That happened a lot yesterday.
Exactly. We want to come a little more. It's not getting worse. But yeah, we want more episodes. We're going to be doing this a lot more. We have a lot more things to talk about. We're going to have, more guests, more contributors, basically giving you our view of Lagos and environs. So, we might even talk to former Lagos struggling big boys are now in diaspora. To see, but we'll bring other things to you, this podcast is to cause engagement. We want people to talk. We want people to drop your comments. Disagree with me, for fuck's sake. Let's talk.
Call him names.
Hey, don't call me names. I do not like that shit. Just disagree respectfully. I beg.
That thing used to piss me off. Like growing up, when someone just you're stupid. Just disagree with me. Why are you calling?
Twitter. I don't know how you people do that thing on Twitter. Like you'll be talking to someone and you have given a very, very articulate, brought. You have read this thing because it's a couple of lines. You read it over and over again to make sure it's perfectly written. To express your view. Don't abuse anybody. And then someone says, your mother should have aborted you for such a stupid statement.
Yes, no. Because you must have lost your mind.
My mother should have aborted me, for a statement. No, we didn't plan to talk about it, but you guys need to fucking chill.
The internet is too toxic now.
God damn.
You can't even
It's like you can't disagree with anybody. If I disagree with you, that means I disagree with everything you believe in. Yeah. I disagree with your life. I disagree with your mother. I disagree with your...
Cancel him. This guy tell me say...
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Look, let's be... because let me tell you what's going to happen. If we are this way, that's how we're going to be in this metaverse coming. And then what was going to happen is that no one's going to enjoy the metaverse. If it's true. It's true because, I'm sorry, as much as you enjoy Twitter, you have to protect yourself. It's like sometimes you see a statement, you know what you want to say to that statement, but you just say, I beg.
I don't
want today. I don't want wahala. So what happens is that you now start... quelling your tongue or, come on, man.
Walking on eggshells trying to tweet. Before you go and tweet something, I say, oh, so you mean that...
before you know you're treading.
You saw what I read. I posted, don't tell me, so you mean... No, read what I wrote.
I mean what I said. You can take it line for line and then Google it if you don't know how to use a dictionary. And find out what I said. But no, so what you're trying to mean is, or what you're trying to say. What am I trying to say? I'm not deaf and dumb.
I already said what I said.
Look. You know what I'm saying about that trying to say is like, you're trying to get there, but you don't have the words to say this thing, or you're not articulate enough to say what it is that you want to say. It's bullshit. If I want to say something, I'll say it.
Exactly.
It's not even, I see, fuck it, man.
Nah.
It's not even getting to
I was just, when you said that thing about not enjoying the metaverse, my mind went somewhere. I was like, oh shit, would there be gang violence in the metaverse, like Blood and Crips? And
I swear it would just be I don't even know how we would do it.
Pew, pew, pew.
It was hashtag.
Because it can't all be gloom, enjoyment. Something got to go down. It has to be news on the metaverse, right? What is interesting on the metaverse if nothing is happening? You need to have gang violence.
I wonder if they can rob you. I swear, I'm sure they can rob you. They'll just put something. One guy will just come in a virus, slap you back, collect your chain,
delete your account,
collect all that. Your NFT chain is gone. That'll be mad.
I don't know. Tell us what you think the metaverse would be like too. I don't know.
I actually think we're already on the metaverse, and I think all just happens now is it's just a consolidation of everything. I think that's what Facebook is trying to do. So it's a consolidation of your Facebook, your Twitter, your everything, your online presence. If that can come together to be one thing, then you are now in that space. Because as it is, people are having full-blown conversations from around the world, and so that is the metaverse. It's a digital space, where
now they're bringing VR to it. So it's
I think a lot of people think, and I think that's where I differ. We're going further than our time, but hey, shit, it's free to put it on YouTube. So, I think where I differ with most people is I think most people think they see the metaverse as avatars. They see it as games, as the way people see games. The online community of games is how they see it. How you get all warped up in your online personality, and how you move on that and buy things for that. And I think there's going to be a bit of that, but I don't think that's going to be the major part of the metaverse. I think what's going to even happen in a lot of cases is that the people with the most technology, I think the people with less technology are the ones that are going to have avatars. The people with better technology are just going to be themselves. So if I don't have a camera now that can project my face and do all the things that I'm doing, I'll probably have an avatar. So what will happen is it's just a representation of yourself, which is already happening. So what will happen is we can have a metaverse school, for instance, now, right? Which is already happening, but what will happen is that this one is built. There's no other class. It's already happening, but most of those people have something else. So what I'm trying to say is that what will now happen is that, okay, you can now come here and then everybody has some visual representation of themselves. So you can decide to be your metaphor, you can decide to be yourself, it can be, which is already happening. You could put a picture of your dog in your profile picture, and that's what people see as a representation of you in the verse. So I think the metaverse is already happening. I think we're deep into it already. I think what people think as virtual reality, and I think the virtual reality that would happen, it's not per se. People are looking at it as avatars and the use of avatars, and no. The way I see virtual reality that will happen is, I can have a class in Oxford University, in the university, in my house here in Surulere. I can put on this thing and be sitting, and the professor is there talking to me. I pay the money. I'm having this class. I'm interacting with people beside me. What do you think about that? And they are interacting back. It's a full-blown on class, but I'm by myself far away. I think that's where the technology is going to go. I think there's going to be a lot more of that in metaverse thing. But, where people think that I just go around all day, just strolling, meeting this person. Oh, nice chain. Oh, this one. That's a game. That's Sims,
GTA.
Exactly. That's GTA. That's Sims. All that already exists. And all that, is already rocking that already. There are games already doing that already. There's nothing new, so that's not, but where it's going to be now is that, okay, you know what, I can get up now and then, or I have a class in Harvard and I'm just putting on my headset and attending this class, and the professor is right in front of me, and the professor is seeing, professor could be in his, could be in the class, could be, but he's seen a representation of me. So when I say, when I raise my hand up, when I do something like that, he's actually seeing that, and he can ask, like you would do a proper class. So I see that's what the metaverse is going to be. So whatever the guy is seeing, whether it be my avatar, whether it be a dinosaur, whether it be whatever he's seeing, is
now I'm being another cruise on this.
It will just be a visual representation that I choose to represent me in that class, in that sphere. So I think that's where it's going to be. I think that's what, and all that. And then the thing about crypto being the thing of metaverse, and as much as we do it, once people get burnt one or twice of this thing, then crypto gets regulated or some sort of regulation. When it comes to some sort of regulation, it just becomes the same as everything else. Money. People forget that money was, people printed their own money. I was watching a series of, I think Last Kingdom or something like that. I can't remember. And, and people printed their own money, but it was the silver, so you had to go into the effort of getting the silver and minting it, but you could print your head on your money and to go, and people accept it. And the bigger you are, the more value that money becomes. They had so many types of money in America at the beginning. That's the beginning of crypto. But what happened is that someone can go print some whole lot of money and scam people and then be out of business. And so what happened is that the government had to regulate it and say, okay, this is the money that's accepted all around this country. So crypto is the beginning of digital money. But what would happen is that we're now going to have a crypto that is regulated. And then once we have it regulated, every other person can print their money. You can still print your digital currency now. I went to a party in December and that they printed their own money so that you could spray. So you went there, you transferred money to them, right? Yeah, good idea. You transferred money to them and they gave you money. And then you could buy things there. You could buy booze. You could give chicks. It was legal tender in the party. You could do that. That's no different from crypto because you need dollars, real money now to convert it to crypto to work. So it's no difference from any other thing. So what will happen is that at some point it will now be, anyway, we are going into another topic that we did not plan to talk about today. But it's weird that I'm even having more passion than the thing I plan to talk about. But yes. Yeah. Tell us your thoughts. I mean, what do you think?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening to us. I mean, if you if you are still listening to us now, when you try, either you don't have shit to do,
I tell
or
you.
you love us. Thank you very much.
But yeah, since you made it this far, don't forget to get your PVC.
Yes, please. And then subscribe, press like, all that shit that they tell you to do in social media school. Peace.